Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I told you many times that there's no such a thing yet of an Wunderwaffe, which is wonder weapon. The Americans kept saying that their Abrams tanks over there will do wonders, and I said many times they won't. So, as a conclusion, the Ukrainians, listen to this clearly, pulled out all US-made Abrams tanks from the front line, from the combat duty. So they take them out because they were blown by the Russians, and they will go to mommy. The same thing happened with Challenger 2, the British tank. Remember, I have here an article. I mean, you can find it in many media outlets, but I just took Associated Press in order to build credibility, if I need to anyway. But people say, oh, that you're citing a legitimate source. Well, it's a legitimate source because Associated Press never lies. So let me show you this article, and then I'm going to show you how many times I said that the Abrams tanks are not Wunderwaffe. They're just other tanks. Better than others, maybe worse than others, but it's not going to change anything. 31 tanks, you need about 3,000 or something. So let me show you this first slide here. And here it is from Associated Press. Ukraine pulls US-provided Abrams tanks from the front line over Russian drone threats. So a drone destroys an Abrams tank. I made a video a few days ago where it was reported by the Russians, I think, and not only by the Russians, I think it was by some others. Doesn't really matter. The point is, $500 worth of a drone destroys $10 million worth of an Abrams tanks. Good job, good job. I'm still amazed of how easily a solution to destroy such a mighty tank was found with a freaking drone by a teenage guy. Unbelievable. So let me show you here. Before we're gonna go back to the article that we're gonna look into details. And here, this is it. Let me put my goggles. These are some of my videos that I made. And let me see if I have the date here. No, this is just like that. No. Anyway, these are the, some of the videos I made. And here you have, let me just see if I have right there. And the Abrams tanks destroyed. Abrams tanks here destroyed. Why no US-made Abrams tanks observed? Russia eliminates almost fully. Finally, US Abrams tanks appear on Ukraine front. And then where is the mighty US Abrams tanks? And US Abrams tanks will be operated by, I said. Now, US Abrams tanks is right here. Myth will be destroyed. So let me see when they make this video. All right. Will burn like any other good tank, I said. And I made this video my September 22nd, 2023. Right there. So it was obvious baboons should maybe listen to others than to their CNNs, MSNBC, and garbage politicians and generals and analysts and experts that tell them garbage. Anyway, now I know some people might say, well, you know, before the Americans sent the Abrams tanks to the Ukrainians, they took some high-tech software because they were afraid that the Russians will capture them. So supposedly they took some. That means they're not really those tanks. No, that's when I say 99%, I'm certain. I leave 1% as a backdoor, way to say, well, I don't say 100. I mean, you always leave this because, I mean, always. It's not, how should I put it? The always, forever, never, ever. No, this is white. 100%, okay, or this is blue, 100%. But certain things that could not be what they appear to be. This will always be white, at least for as far as I'm concerned right now, unless I paint it. So they changed, they removed that software. Well, if you remove that software, that means you gave the Ukrainians, which I don't think the tanks were operated by the Ukrainians. Let's go to that one. You give them a lesser weapon that they're supposed to. That means you endanger someone else's children, brothers, husbands' lives by giving them a garbage weapon, which is a drone will fuck it up. So that means whose fault is it? You send me a garbage. Well, you say, well, you accepted it. Okay, who are the guys who accepted it? So it's over there, the garbage. Now, I don't think they sent, something less than they were. First, you're afraid that we're going to be captured. And then people say, of course, Samuel. I mean, then stop the hype. Well, baboons, they need the certainty. Baboons love certainty. They like to make sure they have the same program, everything is good. They can, consume calmly without being, scared by anything, by any sounds, anything. No, freedom, liberty, freedom of speech and rights. No. They want to be told what to do by mommy and daddy, which in this case is the government. So let's go to the article finally, right, Emil? This is the article and read what's going on. So there's no hanky-panky shit here. So push them out. Let me put my goggle. What is she doing? Caressing it? Foreplaying it? Jesus Christ. Anyway. Washington. Ukraine has sidelined. That's the sidelines. US provided Abrams M1A1 battle tanks for now in its fight against Russia. Why now? Do you think that technology will go down? They're going to get better and better at it. In part because Russian drone warfare has made it too difficult for them to operate without detection or coming under attack or being blown up. I translate it for you. Two U.S. military officials told Associated Press the U.S. agreed to send 31 Abrams in January 2023 after an aggressive cost. Each tank cost $10 million a piece. Right? It says were vital to its ability to breach. They were not. They were arguing. They were not. They were not even used for counteroffensive. But the battlefield has changed substantially since then, not only by the that word, ubiquitous, I don't fucking know. Anyway, use of Russian surveillance drone and hunter-killer drones. Those weapons have made it more difficult for Ukraine. 5 of the 31 tanks have already been lost. And how many were put out of service, damaged? I think about 3 or so. For now, I think it's forever. The tanks have been moved from the front lines. And the US will work with Ukrainians to reset tactics. What do you mean the US will work with the Ukrainians? Isn't the Ukrainians fighting the war? This guy. Tactics, said Joint Chief of Staff. So, yeah, the US, this is a US war against Russia, using those guys, the Ukrainians, telling them that they fight for their survival. What do you want? And I'm quoting. Now these guys are trying to find all kind of justifications here or something. All right, the point is, they send more money. The point is this. The tank is out. Challenger tanks were out. I remember when I made a video on that one, when the British Defense Ministry asked or told, however we want to take it, told the Ukrainians not to assign Challenger 2 tanks to risky operations. So that means I need a lot of, risky is almost everywhere, or only when you patrol you through the Paris. Remember after the Second World War, the French General de Gaulle wanted to be the one entering Paris first, and then the Americans. And he did it. He entered as liberator of Paris. Charles de Gaulle. Do you remember French liberating France? He was in exile in London, Charles de Gaulle. That's with about a few thousand French people over there. That's what it was. But nevertheless, he came over there patrolling. The same with the Abrams tanks. They will be patrolling after a battle is, let's say, won by the Ukrainians, the Americans. Then do you come with the Abrams or with the Challenger 2 tanks? Is that what it is? Exactly. No, man, if I need to go over there on a mission, I take the best weapon, and I'm going to go with the best weapon. No, don't take that one, because it's going to look bad on the global sales market. That's exactly what it is. So I'm going to take a knife when I need a bazooka. Yeah, because you don't want the bazooka to... It's a risky operation. But that's why I need it, to win the risky operation. I need the technological edge. this is stupid. No, not stupid. This tells you. Someone says this. It was my father actually. In when it was the first 1990, 1991 with Kuwait and Iraq, Saddam Hussein, and we were watching whatever the footage we were allowed to watch by the media, free media, and my father looked and said, these guys are fighting with almost the same weapons they were fighting in the Second World War. And they tell us about satellites and laser and the same airplanes, bombardments, tanks, infantry, and some rockets here and there like V1, V2, or the long German cannons. Is that they're fighting with the same technology in 1990, 1991, where that was the thing over there. The same here. These guys are fighting with the same thing, plus the drones. Well, it's more than that, obviously, nowadays, but still, a tank is a tank. As I said many times, you hear it, you see it, you taste it, you touch it, emanates heat, shoots shit. So it's like, what the hell are you talking about? These guys will be detected. And a drone, no surprise here. I'm just saying they suck. If a drone can fuck you up like that, yeah, pull them out, send them back to mommy, and don't employ them. I wonder, the Russians do the same thing? What about their tanks? Well, they claim that Russian tanks are blown up 1,000 a day or something. I'm just exaggerating, but maybe so. But that's how war it is. But those guys are fighting with images, with image. Remember when you see these candidates or the newly elected US presidents and so on, they're all like pointing the finger to the crowd, like they know those people. They don't know shit. It can be anybody over there and they're still gonna do this. Wave and shit. It's the image. Remember, was Rocky 3 or 4? The one with Drago, wasn't that? Yeah, with the Soviet fighter, which was Dolph Lundgren. By the way, Dolph Lundgren was a European champion in Kyokushin Karate. He participated in the world tournaments. I think it was like 20, 21, 18, 19, something like this. So he was a real guy, by the way, Dolph. He was a Shihan in Kyokushin. So anyway, remember when Drago came to America and it was James Brown, living in America, pop, 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 pop. All those being their show. And what happened? The Soviet fucked whatever he was, Apollo, whatever his name was. Wasn't that way? Well, it was a clear representation of seriousness, certainly too much seriousness, but work. And the other guys were, it's fine. Show is good, but show and value. Value should go first, always. Like truth and being kind in the real life right now. We're asked to be kind. I don't want to be kind. I want to be truthful. That's the first thing. If I'm truthful and I'm not kind, I don't give a shit. Now, I don't want to be kind and be not truthful. Be a liar. That's what we're required. Be fake. Like, oh, you're not an idiot, kid. You're just, great. You're fantastic. You failed 3 classes. You're going to repeat the 5th grade, but you're fantastic. No, you suck, motherfucker. Come over here. What can we do? How can we solve the problem? Your failure, it's my failure too, as a parent. So the same here, value, and then, all the show business and all that. This is the other way around. It becomes the difference between the show business, the show, and the business. It becomes more and more far apart, and it's bad. It's bad. Look at the commercials. Buy a car. How many commercials? Oh my God, they're great. And it dies in 3 months. What, an engine doesn't go more than 80,000 miles? What's that? But all cars are fantastic. We're supposed to have them even better. We don't. So same here. It's just selling weapons. It's the business. Invisible airplanes, stealth fighters, Abrams tanks, Wunderwaffe, and, well, they're out. They will be out. There will be send more. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.